Cheers, mix, click, and code with us. Welcome to Boozy Browsing, where technical wizards and design dabblers come together to sip, critique, and fix the web one cocktail at a time.
Okay, so as we promised last time, we did the challenge.
Well, we attempted the challenge.
Yeah.
We'll see how well we did. I know mine wasn't amazing.
Well, we'll start with introducing the beer. I still don't know what's a Florida beer, but now this one looks fun.
You could even do the old school Google Florida beers.
No, it's more like when I go to the shop, they don't have it necessarily. There's so many things, and it's really almost impossible to find it. And then there's no real Florida wine. I mean, I got the California wine, but I'm gonna try that as a backup.
Okay.
It's Sunshine something. There's a bunch of these mini wines. I don't know if it's a summer thing, so I'm trying out everything. But my beer today is a Golden Monkey, Belgian style triple.
A triple?
Yeah.
We've got the same beer. Well, not the same brand, but
oh really?
We're doing a triple also.
Oh, what is it? I'm not a beer person, so I don't know what's what.
So it'll be higher percent.
Yeah, it's 9.5.
Yeah, you're higher than me, so you're winning.
Oh boy.
And it's a Belgian, so that's a specific type of ale.
Yeah, my husband was like,
So
"Oh, that looks cool."
Mine is. I know I drink this a lot, so I think I've done it on here. New Belgian triple.
So is triple a Belgian thing? Because this is also Belgian style triple.
Yeah, this just happens to be New Belgium is the company, Colorado company, but it is a Belgian beer.
Okay.
That style.
Oh, and then I think I told you my husband went to 7-Eleven, and then he just got me this pickleball snack.
Sounds disgusting.
I know, because I like cheese puffs, so I don't like snacks to begin with, but then the only thing I really like is cheese puffs sometimes. And he looked at it, and he thought it was hilarious.
So the bag is really light, like it's a cheese puff.
Yeah, it's really light.
I mean, dill pickle sunflower seeds is a good flavor.
I don't know, I'm kind of scared to eat it, but yeah, I'll let you know how it tastes like.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to eat it right now. All right.
How about you turn your whole mouth green?
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Who eats pickle as a snack? I mean, pickle snack, not pickle as a snack. I eat pickle as a snack, but anyways.
I do.
Anywho, all right. So I will show you the original site. For some reason, I feel like they kind of updated it because there's background images changing.
We did the same site. Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So that's the original site. Apparently, it's still copyright 2013. I didn't know this background image was changing, but you can't really slide it, but it just changes. I don't know if you noticed that.
Did not know. Oh, I see that now.
Yeah. Oh, maybe they just changed it.
It's super slow, so maybe.
So that's the original site that we decided to redesign. So I didn't record my process, but I actually downloaded the snapshots of my iteration so that it's easier to see it, because I couldn't really figure out how to actually record it. I didn't do it in one shot. I just kind of did it.
You like live demos, so.
Yeah. But at the same time, I know when you said 3 hours, I was like, what? And I made it 5 hours. I didn't end up spending all that hours. I think I might have spent maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours max.
I'm glad you did not, because as you'll see in mine, I did not. Yeah,
because it's more updating. So the actual thing just didn't. The whole process probably would have taken maybe an hour, but the focus time. But yeah.
Right.
Anyway, so I tried out 3 different LLMs to start. I used Gemini, I used ChatGPT 03, and Perplexity. The final version I ended up was Perplexity plus. I was having the same issue that you're having. Every time I try to tweak a little bit at the end, it's changing everything. So I literally cherry picked the things I liked and did it in the cursor.
Mhm.
So I pretty much hand selected the changes I want and applied it in cursor.
You get a better grade just because you did effort.
That's why it took 2 hours. Otherwise, it would have been like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I stopped once I realized I was going to have to do some effort on this one. So,
But so yeah, I will go through the iteration. So some of the things like when I tested Gemini, this was the one that came out.
I like that one better than mine.
So there's a dark mode and light mode. The reason I wanted to show this is that it actually, I was able to add an AI feature. So build your perfect load. So if you pick whatever you want and do it, it will actually talk to the AI and give you the recommendation. Obviously,
I should have went first because mine is so depressing compared to that.
So this was kind of like I found that out by accident. I applied it. It was really easy to just apply to it.
Yeah.
If I were to actually put it into standalone site, I need to add the API key and stuff like that. But since this was in like Gemini work area, I was able to do it. So I thought it was kind of cool thing to add it to the site, and it wasn't that hard to put in.
Mhm.
So that's why I put it in here. But I like the color for this.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of giant fonts, so like, and then I was trying to tweak something. I was just trying to get images, but it wasn't really understanding what I was trying to do. So I was like, all right, fuck it. And I went to ChatGPT 03. This one you can see images all broken. I couldn't really get it to work, and it does that all these rounded corners I don't like. And then yeah, it's like it does most things. It was initially broken at the beginning, so I was able to fix it to get to the right section. But yeah, so that was it. And the perplexity, so I'll just go from first version to final version. This was the first version. Very much.
Oh, yeah. Even the icons are familiar.
Yeah, like all this, like it's very generic and very much, it got the color that I wanted, but it made it all rounded corner. It got the images, but I didn't like the whole rounded corner stuff. So that was first version. So I made it. I forgot exactly what I asked to update, but it changed the color. I was like, I didn't never specifically ask for this color, but the cool I know I gave the reference. I think I did the Black Rifle coffee and then mud water as a reference because I wanted more like a muscular cater to that group. And then it picked certain things like, if you hover over it, it changes the target. Yeah, so like it did the little updates like that, but the colors like
not really a shotgun thing, just to be critical.
Yeah, it's just like it's not what I exactly wanted. I mean, so it does different things, and it picked up weird contents from there. So I'm like, all right, that's not what I wanted, and there's no images. It does different things, but that's not what I wanted. So I gave more updates, and then it broke the site. It just got a bunch of images and
It's kind of looks like some of the other sites we looked at, so that's fine.
Yeah. So this one completely changed it because like it's not. It just changed the hunting site, which is not exactly what this is.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next version was this, which was cleaner. Because I think when I told them about masculine and like a hunting, catering to that group, it picked up the color like this, but I still don't like the
first one that you had is very similar to this.
Yeah, I mean, like I like the color for this. That's what the color I specifically.
No, I mean, I forget what order you did them in.
With this?
No, the first LLM. Gemini, was it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it's different, but similar with the darker background and the burnt.
You'll see that this is the color I ended up with because I used this color because I like this color. So yeah, this it's like a weird mix of color, and then like for some reason it turned into a e-commerce shop. I was like, all right, I specifically said e-commerce might be coming later, so it's not gonna be there.
Yeah.
But it still did it. and then changed a bunch of different things. So after I pretty much yelling at it, it went back to the first color that I set. I do like it, but I still feel like it's a little outdated. But I did like the color, and I didn't like the rounded corner for this site. And I ended up doing dark and light version for it. But dark mode, I hate the color.
Yeah.
I actually didn't like this color at all. So, all right. But I did like the light mode and dark mode, and then I liked this color scheme. So I ended up kind of finagling with this. And I made it I told it to do some images. And for some reason, it lost all the images there. So, all right. But at least it listened to me. But what I said, this next version, like I said, just change the images to the right one because you had the image.
It cannot. It can't help itself.
No, this happened. It got the images, but it changed everything else. So I'm like, what are you doing? And then the dark mode, you can see that I told him to change the color to a different one, but it still didn't get it. So I ended up picking the ones I like. So like I like this color with the images from these. And I want for the dark mode to be this color, but they couldn't get it. So I ended up getting, I think, like I said, I put it into cursor and then just kind of did it manually. Somewhat manual. I kind of tell it to like, from this file, pick this, from this file, pick this, and then from this version, pick this. So it took a little bit of manual command to do it. So this is the final version. So got the images, and it's a little more sleek, modern than the previous one that I showed you at all these. And then I got the logos back in here. And then dark mode color is this. I didn't get a chance to change the logo for the dark mode, but yeah, so it does. View product goes to this. This actually does the filtering too. Yeah, so that's my final version.
Yeah, we don't have to watch mine. No, so all right. So I recorded mine. So we'll at some point we'll cut into mine and then cut back. So we are all right. Challenge accepted. I don't know who came up with this time estimate of 3 hours, but I might have had a few too many beers in the last boozy browsing. So let's see. So I've got my new, not really favorite vibe coding tool, bolt.new. We will see what we can do, what damage we can do. So let's start with a good prompt.
I need to create a redesign of an existing site and import all of its content. I'm looking to build it on WordPress, so I need you to create a WordPress theme for me. I'd like all the styles to be in Sass, and you can compile it with a build script. Same thing with JavaScript. Just do CSS just in case. What else do I want to say? I want to keep it on brand from the current site, so same colors, but we can adjust some fonts. Definitely adjust the layout to make it a current looking site. This is a manufacturing site, so there's a lot of product pages. Make sure we pull those over as well as their own post type. The main navigation and footer navigation should be WordPress menus. Make sure you can create the defaults in that theme until we create the menus. Here's the URL of the live site. Go ahead and crawl it, pull any content over, and before you start, ask me any questions you have.
In the new one. All right. So after watching that, Meeky, what do you think? Meeky didn't actually watch it. Since we're recording quote unquote live. All right, so let me do a quick review so Meeky can see it, and then I can talk through some of the differences I see. So again, old site. So I went with bolt.new and Lovable,
Okay.
as you saw in the recording, everyone else. I was struggling. You see it in the video. I struggled with Bolt. I honestly don't like what Bolt, but I could have iterated on this. I just didn't. It just was so off brand. Like it didn't even come close. It brought things in, but didn't even try to do branding. Lullable, like when I saw my version, I thought this was pretty good until I saw yours. So yeah, not much to show here. Like it had all the functionality, filtering and stuff like that. Like it was all right. I was just so like unimpressed with the first versions of what I got from both of these two that I didn't want to go any further. Like to do the effort of setting up a migration, and like those could be done with other LLMs also. I feel like you'd almost have to pull in multiple tools, or you should.
Yeah.
Like doing it all in one of these is not the best approach. I think these are good. Like the ones I pick are good for UI stuff. Then jumping into Cursor, doing some development, maybe even building the migrations in Cursor or with Cursor or Copilot. Kind of my favorite.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, Cursor.
yeah, I mean, as I demoed in the video, my frustration and like meh.
So I actually, because mine probably because it's iteration. So also like getting the iteration
Right.
also makes it a little better. So my approach was like initially I tested out in the ChatGPT, the one I showed you before, and then Gemini, and on Perplexity, they all kind of like came primitive, but it's not too bad. And I gave the specific instruction, and I actually went to Grok based on what I saw and all the instruction I gave. Could you create a prompt to put in? So, and I had to refine that prompt about 3 times and then put it in to get to this.
Yeah.
So you have to constantly refine it as you get, because like I didn't like the color and I gave the example, and I want style, and I want the theme to look like whatever. So like I gave that and then put it back to the Perplexity one. So far I like the Perplexity Lab the best, because it does depict a specific instruction I tell them, whereas the other ones will just blend in some random things that I don't want.
So when you're pulling from a couple of different ones, are you have to give it all the information each time, or can you point it at a GitHub repo? Do you know?
I didn't put anything on the GitHub repo. That's so.
Yeah. Okay.
So I will grab like certain snippets from the code and then give it to them and like use this color scheme and then things like that. But I didn't actually. Because it perplexed. So Gemini and ChatGPT, I didn't go through iteration. I just did it once and then just looked at it. Whereas Perplexity, I actually went to the iteration and I just picked the colors I wanted, styles I wanted, and asked Grok to refine this prompt to kind of get the dark mode and light mode. So it updated it from there. But when I gave the example of mud water and Black Rifle coffee, it picked the contents from there.
Oh.
So I was like, that's not what I want. So I have to redo it and then put it back. Yeah,
the one new thing I saw this time around, so my initial prompt was to build a WordPress theme, like I'd done before, right? It immediately responded, it can't build a WordPress theme.
Oh,
it's like,
okay.
Well, you've done it before?
Oh, really? Yeah,
so,
that I think I did it in Cursor.
So I went. I mean, these are both React, which would have been fine for the demo. But anyways, like it's almost like, I don't know if they reduced functionality. I mean, that would be based on my personal user feedback to them over and over that you don't know what you're doing in PHP and yelling at it. Maybe it's decided that it's not very good at PHP development and it's giving up. So I'm not sure. But back to like the multi-repository, 'cause for my workflow, like I find myself looking at different repos for like different work stuff, but I wonder if there's a way to reference other ones. Um, like I know in like when I'm in Copilot, I'm in my Docker, whatever I've defined in um, VS Code,
Mhm.
but I wonder if I could ever reference like, oh, check out this repo and pull in this class or something like to be simple. Uh,
I think you can do that in Cursor.
mm,
I have done it to grab the logo from this site and put it here.
yeah, because I guess you would have to like give it like for me, it has access to all my repos, so I would be hopeful that it could actually read all the repos that I have versus just public. Um,
Yeah. I mean, if you want to see, like, let me quickly show you, like, some of the iterations that I did for Perplexity. Yeah, so,
I do like how super confident I was when we were on the last episode. Oh yeah, and I just lost like the will for doing it after like there's no like benefit for me finishing this project. Like I know the pain that I'm going to have to go through to get it right, and I had already been doing that most of the day for other projects. It's like I'm just kind of burnt on AI arguments now. Some
yeah.
days.
Yeah,
Founder.
it didn't take me that long. I was actually, I think I told you, like, I was doing other stuff while I was kind of putting the comments.
Mm.
But when I gave it the instruction, it pretty much gave me, like, the color and the visual and the styling and all that stuff. And I pretty much cherry picked some of these. And then asking questions, like, I forgot to answer the question, so I just gave the answer, and then that's the first version. I even like the first version. I just didn't like this whole, like, rounded corner and all cutesy, too, like, old Mac style. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, I know what you see now. Yeah.
yeah. And then, like, from there, I was like, yeah, like, Perplexity gives you all these assets. Oh, I don't know where it went. Assets to tweak, and then
Yeah.
I went to refine it a little further. It gives all this information, which usually I told them, like, I might be using one of these to deploy in WordPress, and then they gave me the instructions on how to put it on WordPress, whatever. And then next version was this after I pretty much defined a little more, and it gives me all this information about what they changed. The
Wow.
rounded corner radius graph, I'm like, I don't care. I mean, I told him I don't want rounded corner. It did all this. I don't know where these images are used. Like, it feels like it's a little overkill. It gives all this information that I would need, and this is the broken site that it gave me.
Yeah.
And then the color, and I didn't like some of, like, I wasn't really sure why this color was there. And some images, because I told them to generate the image. If you don't have it, we'll swap it out later. It just did all this other things. It actually did some performance thing. But yeah, it feels like this is like a early 2000 version, almost feels like, but it's not bad. I like the color. And then dark mode and stuff. So, like, yeah, it was just changing all the little things here and there. And then this I liked, except with the images. But I still feel like this one still looks a little old. And then where they got the image, I think this is a royalty-free image.
The guy's shooting really low into the ground.
What? Oh. But yeah, and then, like, they changed the whole thing when I just told them to switch the image, and then there's, like, a point that I was yelling at it. I was like, I said just the image. Why did you change it? And then it explained why. I was like, no, that's not true. And then this was the version they gave me, and I ended up swapping with cherry picking different things. Yeah, I thought, yeah, this is the final version they gave me, but, like, they didn't have the images. They have this weird thing, and I don't know where the price came from. And these options are something, the products are not something that's there. But I did like the style at the end, and I don't want to spend any more time on it. Still had a weird rounded corner on the button. I didn't like that. And dark mode is this color. So I ended up cherry picking to change that in cursor from there. So the final version was me changing it because I wanted the background here, and I wanted.
Oh, he's not shooting. He's okay.
No, he's looking. Yeah, it was blowing.
Well, the whatever the alamy looked like it was blowing out of the barrel.
I don't know.
Anyways, I critique your images when mine is all garbage. So
But yeah, so the final version was tweaking in the cursor, and also, I think you probably mentioned it at one point. Every time I asked cursor to change something, instead of updating the section, it's adding on top of it. So like, and just put important everywhere on the CSS.
oh yeah,
So
yeah, 100%.
I
I did a major cleanup on a project that I was toying with today, and the amount of importance and duplicate code.
Yeah. Yeah. So like here,
part of mine was because I asked it to refactor a couple of times and didn't realize that it wasn't deleting files. And then as it was iterating later, it was editing one or the wrong files sometimes. And it was just like, I couldn't believe how bad it got in maybe 30 prompts. Like going from stuff like this, like, oh, this looks pretty cool. And then change it. Like, and then you get to the end, it's like, you can't even recognize the code base because it's like 3 or 4 versions inside the code of everything, and then same function names in different files. Some files are included, some are not.
Like, yeah, I'm trying to see if there's a way to show this. I wanted to change the button color and then all that. Like, look at that. Just dump this in here with all the importance, because there are button primary class here up on top. And because when I saw, I just wanted to
change the same file.
Yeah, and also I just wanted to change the color here, and I was like, I put it down. It's like, why is it not changing? And I found out later. Like, I was looking through the source, and I was like, it was adding it at the end, just kind of overriding based on what I told him to do. So I was like, that's not what I on it. But so it's just kind of got to get the whole CSS file messy.
Oh, it's worse than messy because it gets to the point where it itself doesn't know what to change.
Yeah. So yeah, like I'm just getting like annoyed with it. It's just like, anyway. So I noticed that if you're not technical enough to understand that it just overrode everything on top of everything.
Mine created a fix-something.js file. It was doing JavaScript to like hide buttons and like move things around instead of if it had to put a JavaScript file on a SaaS app or something that you don't have access to. Like, it has full control of everything, and yet it was creating a fix file to fix its own issues, because I was seeing things jump around on the page. I was like, what is going on? And then I noticed what it did. It's like,
why?
where do you get these ideas? Like, it's because it's pulling from the internet. I feel like that's a good like end of this conversation. Like, it's just pulling from the internet. It's getting what it finds, and Stack Overflow, and has no clue if it's good or not.
Yeah.
More, I mean, it does get really far really fast, and then it gets really bad really fast too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if there's another round of like how you take it from that, because I've also had to try to fix it in trying to test this stuff out. Like, I'll fix stuff, and then I'll let it go back to the repo, and then it'll somehow do the same things again. Like, it'll reapply the brokenness in the same way.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally, that's how it develops in that methodology. Like,
yeah, I mean, like, something like this just overriding everything. Like, I'm sure like this was just CSS, so it's not too crazy. But if it was, like, I mean, you mentioned that with the JavaScript, it's keep adding a new function on top of it, and it's one of those things that you'll never accept if you had a pull request and you're reviewing it. It's like, well, what are you doing?
Right.
But yeah, so I mean, it's a quick and dirty thing to kind of spin up, and like maybe it was good for prototyping, and then maybe like if you were gonna really implement it, you probably need to go through clean up all this code and making sure that things don't really. I'm sure, and also this is like a very static, a single page application, not going to actual different pages and things like that.
I mean, that's the use case for these things. Like, if you're never gonna if you're not gonna be making updates to it, then it's great. If it's something you're like going to deploy and then build upon, I don't know if it actually saves time or not. Like in the current iterations that we have today, I don't think it saves you time for a long-term maintained project. Like, saves a ton of time for a demo, for a proof of concept, for an MVP, like an initial MVP that you're going to rewrite anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're building it for an application that you're going to then build upon, like, I don't know that it saves you time. Like, the amount of effort that it has to go into like checking everything
and clean it up. Clean up takes longer. It's like if it's written weird, because you might be better off just rewriting the whole thing.
And think about the level of person that has to do that, right? Like, it takes an experienced person to then go through it. Like, you're almost doing an audit of brand new code. Like, who would, like I'm not a fan of, all right, we're going to throw it out and rewrite. But if that's what we're going to get, like, you almost would just rewrite based on the functionality you see, and it would be faster to do maintainable code. Maybe. Or maybe you ask how many prompts you've done. Like, if it's 5 prompts or less, sure, I'll build upon that.
That's true.
If you had to do 30 prompts, like, no, I think we're going to start over. We'll do the 5 prompts and then build from that. Like, maybe that's the new paradigm. Like, I want to know how many prompts you did to build this.
Yeah, it's going to be equivalent to fixing the code that had like 100 different freelancers touched versus.
That's right. Like, if you've gone through 100 or 10 different people, your developers, like, it's the accelerated time frame of, like, you pick up a site that's 10 years old and it's had 10 freelancers building it, right?
Yeah,
it's pretty bad. Versus, it's brand new, but I took 30 prompts. Like, that was probably 10 developers that had their hands on it, doing it different ways and overwriting each other's code and duplicating each other's code in one deployment.
Yeah. It's just like one of those things that remind me of, like, you have like 100 different viewports defined in the CSS file.
I keep, like, I know we're going to get like positive on AI at some point. Like, and it is iterating fast, but maybe not. Like,
I mean, positive is that you can spin up a demo really quickly like this. And also, for me, the positive is that some of the things that, like, some of the JavaScript stuff, like, or even CSS, it gives me the idea of, like, I haven't brushed up on all the new ones, that, like, new functions that are out there, but they picked the functions that are already out there that I was like, oh yeah, there's that search like that. Then for me, it's a learning that I can, there's things like that. Yeah.
I could be completely wrong on this statement, but I feel like, and again, we're gonna keep going with these tests, but I feel like where we are today is where, like, and I don't remember the product name. It was something that Adobe bought. And it was like the ability to slice up images and build out web pages. Like, designers, like,
Dreamweaver?
No, it was it was after that, actually. There was something in between where it had kind of bought or built out a product that was doing slices and like building out like layout pages. It's like designers like, I can build websites now. It's like, this is the same, like, except that this takes away the design quote. Well, real designers, it tries to create its own version of a designer, right? So it's trying to take away a designer's job and a coder's job, but doing it in a way that is kind of okay design, like looks pretty good to most people, and code looks amazing to most designers.
Right.
But the reality is production ready, and
No.
production like you can't build on it long term. Like you can't use the tool to maintain it. So you eventually have to go to a developer anyways. Like that might be the best thing for our industry yet.
And I'm also curious how much can you like the tools like Cursor. I know for me, I just start using it, so I haven't really tested out how much customization you can do, like what kind of instructions you can do to make it learn. Right. So if you do it, refine it better, it's just like the LLMs, like you get better results after you refine your prompts, and then after results, you challenge them and you make them challenge yourself, and then do all that stuff makes it better results. Is there such thing on this? And
versus just it feels like I'm coming in fresh every time.
Right. I think it learns in a way, but how can I actually give an instruction that what I want and what I specifically need, and certain things that I don't want it to do? I don't know how much of that is in place or is coming, but I'm sure that that's probably going to come, because like you probably have to have some sort of standards in there, like you need to put it in, and even you can put it in as like a standards thing. So like I'm curious, like
there's no way the ones that I'm using have any learning, like true based on my like I showed you, I fired them like multiple times.
You got angry with it.
And, like I finally got it to not update code on a prompt. Like I had to repeat it multiple times. Do not edit code. Just tell me what you're trying to do.
But is it in Bolt?
That one was in Bolt. I mean, that's the thing. Like with Copilot, like you're just it doesn't apply the changes, and it doesn't apply towards the whole project either. Like I'm just building features and functionality and like getting it, or type ahead. Like I like that a lot. I do like these for like really like the UI portions that I can't do.
Right.
So there's good balances on both. I do want like more advanced like versions of Copilot or Cursor that can actually review like larger projects.
I haven't tried that with Cursor, so I can't really speak to it yet, but I started to use it as my IDE now. I moved on from VS Code to this.
Oh, okay.
I think there's an extension to still use VS Code, adding it, but I did like the layout and things they do, because usually I do manual stuff manually anyway, and then I only use it when I need to on some of the like really tedious jobs. So that's been working well, but I haven't really tested or even was monitoring to see if it's learning my style of code, or is it learning from the code base or not.
That's the thing, I've said this before. Copilot definitely uses my style of code. Like I think from the beginning, it's been doing the way I would code, which is weird.
I think it does, but I haven't connected to my GitHub either. Okay. So I'm literally using it really lightly, because I'm very skeptical of these. So I don't like to connect it to all these other things. So there's that, and also I think ChatGPT has some Copilot looking thing there. I haven't tested that. I forgot, it was Google or Chat. There's a new thing they rolled out that you can connect it to your ChatGPT to your GitHub, but I haven't done that either. I don't know. I mean, it could be great, but it could be also bad, so I don't want to connect it to everything. But yeah, I mean, so far Cursor has been alright, but the way they update things, inject code, isn't something I would do.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely not going to challenge you again.
What?
So I'm not going to challenge you again.
Well, you said 3 hours. I spent 2.
I definitely failed at this one. So
You're the
My
one who wants to
ego,
launch me
my
into
ego is back in check for the moment. We'll see how long. Maybe if we need to get a guest or two on here that's worked on projects that they really thought I did a good job on.
Yeah.
And then I'll feel better.
No,
about
but it realistically, how much time did you really spend on this?
No, it was 20 minutes. It's a 20-minute recording. And that was with me looking at other things.
Wait, you
What I'm
said
saying-
3 to 5 hours, so I spent 2 hours. I was multitasking on some other things,
Yeah.
so like maybe like probably like a full hour of focus time, but still.
Like, I don't think I would have gotten it to the point that you did either, because I wouldn't have like thought to take in like the output of one and put it into another one, like without before this conversation. Like that makes sense because we do it with other things, but like for this type of work, I felt like they don't cross over very well. And maybe they do, especially if I could take a repo, like if I could get it because most of them connect to a repo, have it go to a repo, and then use that repo with another LLM and see like if it's. I just don't know what's better at what yet. For the UI, like the visual development ones. I kind of did that with other work I've done with CodePilot. Like I go to my own repo and then I manually and use it to clean stuff up. But then the Bolt and whatever's like they tend to overwrite it, so I haven't figured that out yet. Like no matter how many prompts I've told it, like, look at the repo, do not go backwards, go forwards, and it seems to go. I think I told you like it literally because you could see what it's trying to do, and it told me it was doing things that it had done a long time ago again, which didn't make sense because we were past that.
Right.
Like, we've done this, we've approved it, we've gone forward. You're doing it again, and then of course it changed it in a different way.
Yeah, I think it's also your habit of like you're trying to evaluate multiple options before you do it. So like I like to make them challenge each other.
Yeah.
Which is probably the good way to do it especially with these, because now they're coming with a bunch of like with Grok 4 came up, and then like I was just reading it this morning, like there's a bunch of, and Microsoft is trying to put some bunch of different things. So and also like different LLMs is good at different things. So and I found out recently I was testing Perplexity that I can't choose the model anymore because they picked the perfect one. So like I didn't like that. So I found the extension that I can pick.
You dumb human. Like you don't know what you're doing. Let AI take over.
That was fun. It took 2 hours of my time. Well, 1 hour of my time.
Yep. I think that wraps up this session of Boozy Browsing. So goodbye, everyone.
All right, bye.
Stay tuned for a new episode every Monday afternoon.